everyone. This is Connie Garrett of C. Garrett Group, powered by your home sold guarantee realty. And I'm here with Miss Michelle Gaskin of Movement Mortgage. And I just want to have a little conversation. I have lots of questions from my clients, friends about how to prepare to start to buy a home, what you need to do. And so we have a professional here that can actually tell us the things that we need to do to get prepared, okay? Here's Michelle.
Hello everyone, I'm Michelle with Movement Mortgage. So when we are actually preparing to buy a home, the first thing you would want to do is always pay your bills on time. Always keep your credit cards below 30% of their balance, and 10% is actually better. Do not pay off any credit cards. Always have a savings. We need to know where your closing costs and your down payment is coming from. So either you're going to have a 401k plan, or you're going to get a gift. We need to know all those things up front when you actually talk to a lender, or you need to save up at least 6% of your purchase price that you're trying to inquire.
Okay, and so the 6% is, what does that entail?
Well, for FHA, 3.5% down payment, and then the rest of it will go towards your closing costs, and the same is for conventional.
Okay, so basically, if you're gonna just make it easy, guys, if you're gonna buy a home that's, let's just say $200,000,
yes,
3.5% would be $7,000.
Yes.
Okay, so just add that percentage on, or multiply that 3.5 times whatever that number is. That'll give you the down payment portion. The closing costs, and right now in the market, it's the seller's market, so we're not able to really get a lot of closing costs because we're actually fighting to get the property. So you need to be able to come with, like she said, at least 6.5%, so that we have a better chance of getting the loan. So Michelle, tell us the difference between the different loans. We have conventional, we have FHA, we have the VA, and we have jumbo loans. So give them a little bit of information about that.
Okay. For our VA loans, it's only for our veterans. That's 100% financing. You will be responsible for your closing costs, but not your down payment. Your FHA loan is between a 580, but anything below a 660 actually is an FHA loan. And you're responsible for 3.5% down payment and then your closing costs. And that's a first-time buyers program. So some people get that confused as, what is your first-time buyers program? That is a first-time buyers program. And then we have conventional. So we have two ways that we can qualify you when it comes to conventional. The first thing is, if you're a first-time home buyer and you make under $75,000, then I can actually get you 3% down payment. And anything other than that, it has to be 5% of your purchase price. Okay. And for your investment properties, we are asking for 10 to 15% down, because things have changed in the market as of today. And our second home is asking for 10% down. For our USDA loans, there are our rural type homes, and that's 100% finances, but they have strict debt to income ratios. So we have to stay under 41% in order to qualify for those type of loans.
And under 41% means your debt has to be under 41% of what your income is.
Correct.
Okay, so that's the debt to income ratio. A lot of people don't understand that. So that's great. Thank you so much, Michelle. So tell me about just a range. I know everybody's interest rates depend on what their credit score is, but tell me a right about range so that people will know what your company is offering as far as interest rates.
Okay, of course, all lenders are competitive with their interest rates, and they're not going to be too far off from each other. But right now, on today's interest rate on FHA, you're looking around about 1.325. Conventional is a little higher always with the FHA compared to FHA, and it's maybe like a 3.3 or 3.5.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us the do's and don'ts when preparing to buy a home, flip property, or investment property. Just some things that people might not know what they need to be doing to prepare.
Okay, if you are planning on paying down your credit cards, do not close any accounts, because once you close the account, it actually drops your credit score. So if you want to pay it down to at least a minimum of 10%, that's great. Do not go buy any cars, people. No car loans. Don't go and actually purchase a car and then turn around and try to purchase a home. Sometimes that actually kind of
messes it up, messes your income. Yes, let me just interject. Don't go and buy a house full of furniture for your new home before you get it, because guess what? You won't be getting it. I've had clients to a week before we close, they're thinking we're clear to close, and they'll go and buy a house full of furniture for a home. Well, guess what? That's going to mess up everything, because they're going to look at all that stuff. They're going to call your job to make sure you still work at your job right before closing. They're going to check your bank account to make sure that nothing has changed. You still have adequate funds to take to closing. So you cannot do anything. Don't buy anything before you close, or guess what? You won't be closing.
Of course, because we always keep we always look at your account, look at your credit report. It's just like a simple alert. So anytime you buy in something, it actually alert us, and then we have to add that to your debt to income ratio. Another thing is also if you're planning to get a gift, it's very important that you already go ahead and talk to that person beforehand, so we can have the necessary documents in order to, while we're in the process of getting a loan. The reason why is sometimes our people are surprised that we have to ask for the donor's bank statements. So when you're giving a gift, we actually need to get that donor bank statements, and sometimes that's kind of hard to get from the donor. They are willing to give you the gift, but they're not willing to give up that information. So if we can have that conversation up front with the donor, that'd be great. And if I need to talk to them, that'd be awesome too as well, so I can explain the process to them. Do not go getting loans. You cannot get a loan to go to a purchase of your home. I had that recently, and that's going to actually throw everything in a tizzy. So do not go and open up loans and get a loan and then have it sitting in your account, and then you actually come to me and ask for to purchase a home. We cannot use those funds at all.
So that's a good question. I had someone that, well, actually it wasn't my client, because I always tell them beforehand, but I heard that a client that I had that I sent to someone else, they actually got a loan for the down payment.
Right.
How does that work?
We cannot do that.
Okay.
Because you cannot have borrowed funds or funds that you're going to pay back to purchase a home. The best part, if you need to get it a gift, or just save up for the down payment. It looks like you borrowing a loan, you're getting a loan, and then you turn around and then you say, "Oh, I want to get a loan, and here's my down payment." You just cannot do that.
You can't do that.
You just cannot do that.
That's good information, because I was just like, you know, sometimes people think that other things don't have anything to do with what they're doing as far as buying, but it's like basically you're signing away your firstborn. They want to know everything that you're doing. It's kind of like, I say, if a friend of yours wants to borrow $5,000 or $10,000, that's small, and so the person doesn't have a job, or the person doesn't pay their bills,
right?
You'd be like, I don't think so, because you don't pay your bills already, and how are you gonna pay? How are you gonna pay me back if you're not working?
Right.
So that's kind of like how the bank looks at applications on paper. They just want to know that you're qualified, that you have. They look at your history to see how you've been paying your bills, and that basically they look at it like your history is going to tell them how you're going to pay your future bills.
Of course. Perfect. I also want to tell people about collections. We don't look at any medical bills as far as collections, but we can't have anything over $2,000 in your collections area. So if we do, we have to settle that before we actually give you a loan, and a lot of people do not understand that. And also too, if you owe an apartment complex, any rental history that you owe to an apartment complex or a rental home, you have to take care of that before you purchase a home, because it looks like to us, if you can actually pay the apartment people back, you're not going to be able to pay us back.
Exactly. Makes sense.
Yes.
So wonderful information. I appreciate it. So one more thing, for the people who don't necessarily have, I guess, credit problems, and they're not in the beginning stages, but maybe they actually are well-to-do and they want to buy investment properties, or they want to buy a luxury home. Tell us what your jumbo loans look like.
Okay, so
and jumbo loans are
anything over $585,000.
$585,000
purchase price.
Okay.
So when we actually go up over $585,000 in purchase prices, is automatic considered a jumbo loan, or we can get you a first and a second loan.
Okay.
So let me explain jumbo loan first. The criteria is much stricter with a jumbo loan. You're going to there are different programs, but you have to put down 10 to 15% on those type of homes. and then you got to have enough reserves. So some of them ask for 6 months reserves. Each product offers different things, but you need to have reserves sitting aside to show us that you can actually repay the loan.
So that would be 6 months of the mortgage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and also those interest rates are a little higher than the average, and that's something that you just expect. Okay.
Yeah.
The first and second loan. So say if you wanted to buy a house and it was just maybe $600,000. So that first loan will actually $585 will go to a conventional loan, which is your first loan, and the second loan is going to be actually a home equity line of credit, which we actually broker out. And then those are two different interest rates. And sometimes they ask you to put 11%, 10 to 11% down on the second home, and still you have the requirement of 5% down on the first loan. So sometimes it's actually better to go the first and second route. It just depends on how your finances look to us.
Okay. Well, this has been great information. I hope you guys have learned something. I would like for you to comment and ask questions, and if we haven't answered the questions this time, we will take the time to come and answer them again. Again, my name is Connie Garrett for C. Garrett Group Realty, powered by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and this is Miss Michelle Gaskin from Movement. Give them your website.
My website is actually www.movement.com/lo/Michelle.Gaskin. Michelle is MESHELLE.Gaskin, GASKIN.
Right. Your phone number?
678-760-4420.
Okay, and of course, everybody knows you can get in touch with me via video, Facebook, Twitter, all social media. My phone number is 678-438-2330. My website is www.conniegarrettrealtor.com, and I'm waiting for your phone call. Thank you so much. Have a great day.